Hey everyone, my name's Ariana and I am the studio assistant for the Printmaking Studio Workshop. So today we're just going to do a little tour and point out some of the safety features in the studio. Walking into the room, we have our file cabinets over here that might have your own personal drawer if your class requires it, the mats to cut any papers, wipes, extra paper scraps, things like that. Then we have the classroom space, so this is just our general sit, maybe do some work, however your class needs to use these tables. Everyone is free to use them. Over here we have our general extras, I suppose, just shelving that has, extra pens, pencils, glue. This is kind of like a free-for-all if you need it during class. Next to it, we have extra aprons, dustpans, and such. Now, if we go around the corner here, this is just, extra space, probably won't be used, but back here is where Professor Catherine Chauvin's office is. So if she's in here, she might possibly be in her office, but that is her room. And then coming around here, we go into the screen printing area. This is where the screen printing class will be working, so intaglio and printmaking topics probably will not be in this space. All of these white desks are used for screen printing. Along with this sink area, so this sink area will preferably only be used by the screen printing class. With all their screens and their ink, it can get a bit messy, so we kind of like to have this just for their area. An important thing to note about this space is that these tables, you can really tell when they're dirty, obviously because they're white, and the screen printing class definitely uses a ton of ink and it can be a little messy over here. So if you are in a different class and you don't have the need to be over here, probably shouldn't, just in case things get messy. And in addition, if you're in the screen printing class, just making sure that these things stay as clean as possible. And yeah. Up towards the front of the room, there is a light box. So if you need to transfer something, you can use that up there. This will probably be like a demo or a workshop table for any of the teachers. We have a phone over there if you need to contact campus safety or anything. Here are all the DU emergency and other important numbers. So if you're in this classroom and you need to locate any of the numbers, you can come over here and there's the phone, or you can use your own phone. And here we have just like a lot of different chemicals. This is kind of like the safe cabinet for all the different flammables or corrosives or anything like that. So probably won't be accessing that without Catherine or Cheen or somebody present, or with permission, since those can be dangerous. This is a space for dirty rags and cloth, so you can put them generally in this area. Here we go into the more relief or intaglio kind of side of printmaking. So this is that portion of the workshop. So screen printers probably won't be over here too much, but here we have all the glass tabletops with all of the ink. We have the printing presses, and this space, again, with us using ink, can get really messy, so that's something to always watch out for. So yeah, this is the general print area. Back here we have the screen that the printmaking topics and the intaglio class will be using, and also screen printing. So this one is for all of the classes, but the one in the back of the room is preferably only for the screen printing class. But this can get, again, quite messy with 3 classes using it, so just be mindful. Here we have shelving for all the different classes, plus, general cleaning supplies, screen printing, and then the etching intaglio class. This is a important section over here, especially for the etching and intaglio class. This is where we will be handling all of the acids. So this is our kind of like hood area for ventilation. These are the tubs we'll be using for that class, corrosive materials. So this is probably one of the big, I would say, dangers of the class. So one of the most dangerous materials in this class is acid, which we do use in intaglio, so that's something to be mindful of if any of the classes are over in this area. Back through this door is a space that will be used for screen printing, and there's also a dark room. So the screen printing class may find themselves coming in and out of here at their teacher's request. Back here probably won't really be used by many people, depending on the class. This is like the wood burning laser printer. We have another really large printer under here if necessary. Okay, let's go over the 5 safety materials in this classroom and where they are located. Number 1, we have a fire extinguisher over here in this corner. Number 2 is this very well hidden first aid kit on this shelf. Number 3 is the Right to Know information station that tells you all the information you need to know about safety in the workshop. Number 4 is the eye wash station. And number 5 is the next fire extinguisher. Here's some safety tips on how to dress and not dress in the workshop. First of all, make sure that your hair is kept up and out of the way. Make sure you're not wearing dangly jewelry or dangling clothing. So things that are more fitted or kind of just kept out of the way is always safer in the studio, especially if you're working with the printing presses. Also, having closed-toed shoes is pretty important. This is a studio. We do have various materials in here, so closed-toed shoes are also a must. We use a lot of ink in this space, so found underneath these tables are either gloves or skin-safe barrier cream. So these are your 2 options protecting your skin against ink, either gloves or some barrier cream. We have multiple different kinds, and again, stuff like this will be found under the tables. When working in the studio, it's important to note that we do have a few things that could be considered a little bit more dangerous. We do work with acid, we work with printing presses, and some of the classes may even be working with carving tools. All things to be mindful with how you're using them and making sure you know how to use them properly. Thanks so much for doing this tour and safety video with me, and be sure to go back and watch through the safety materials, as there could possibly be a safety quiz.